Hello, welcome to Bethel Church's Daily Devotions. Can I ask you a question? Would you like to add more value to the relationships that you have in your life? Your working relationships, your marriage relationship, parenting relationships, or your friendships? If you're like me, sometimes my relationships, I take them for granted. And if I'm not intentional, they begin to get on autopilot, and I'm only doing the minimum to maintain those relationships. And as long as our relationships are only surface deep, we can continue to neglect them as long as we think that everything is okay. But if we let that go long enough, then eventually something bad may happen. For example, we may become more disconnected in those relationships. The relationships might get dysfunctional. Or, worst case scenario, those relationships begin to fail. Healthy relationships always go deeper than just the surface level. Let me give you an example. About 3 years ago, I put in a new sod in my backyard. It was beautiful. It was so green, you could say it was blue. As a matter of fact, one of my friends complimented that they thought it was fake because it looked so good. Wow, what a nice compliment. But over the years, its greenness began to fade, its beauty began to fade. And I tried lots of different things to try and bring that back. I remember putting in a smart sprinkler timer, trying to get the watering just right. And I fertilized, but all those things were just temporary solutions because we'd only get green for a little while and then eventually would go back to its faded beauty. What I found out was that over time, a layer of thatch builds on top of the grass from dead grass or leaves or other debris from the environment. And that layer of thatch prevents the nutrients from going down deep into the roots. I needed to break through the thatch layer and get down into the roots in order to help my lawn get better. So I aerated my lawn, and what that does, it put holes that are about 3 inches deep all across my lawn so that the nutrients could get down deep into the roots. And now, about 3 or 4 weeks later, my lawn is starting to look healthier again. This is what I wanted to talk with you about today, is going below the surface layer in our relationships and investing in them deep into the roots so that we can have quality, healthy relationships, not just today, but well into the future. And so that's what I'd like to talk to you about today, is adding value to your relationships by putting the effort into them. And a passage of scripture I want to share with you is from Philippians chapter 4, starting with verse 8. The Apostle Paul writes this letter and he says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you." The Apostle Paul says to think about these things, but then later on, he says to practice them. Practice the things that you have seen him doing and you have heard him teaching. What he's saying is the things that I'm telling you to think about are the same things I want you to be practicing as well. And I just want to highlight 3 of the things that Paul talks about because I believe that they help us to have healthier relationships. If we'll invest in these character qualities in our relationship, it's going to improve all of our relationships. The first one I want to highlight is he says to think about things that are pure. Think about those things that are pure. And that to me means be an integrous person. Be a person of integrity. Be the same person in private that you are in public. That means doing what you say you said you were going to do. Now, if you're at home, if you're married, if you tell your spouse you're going to do something, a certain task, follow through on that on the timeline that you said you would do it. And here's an important thing. If you can't follow through on it, remember to circle back around and communicate that you're not able to do something you said you would do. When you do that, you're being a person of integrity. And they can trust you because they know that you said you're going to do what you said you would do. And if you can't, you'll come back around and talk to them about it. That also applies at work. If you've told your project team that you're going to get a project done on time or a task as part of that project done on time and you can't do it, come back around and let them know. I believe that if you'll be honest with them, they're going to rally around you and figure out how to put more resources your way so that that task can get completed on time and the whole team can win. Be a person of integrity. The second thing I want to highlight from this passage is Paul says to think about things that are honorable and lovely. Honor the people and love the people that you have in your life. And so if you're married or if you have children, honor your wife, honor your husband, honor your children. And the way that I would recommend you do that is find out the things that they like to do, find out the things that they like, and do those things for them and with them. If they like sitting on the couch and watching a movie, then sit down on the couch and watch a movie. If they want to clean a room, then clean that room with them. If they want to go for a walk, then go on that walk with them. If they like gifts, then buy them a gift. You may have just caught on that I am making suggestions from the book, The 5 Love Languages. The whole premise of that book is doing things that the other person wants to do because you love them, because you honor them. Honor the people in your life, your friends, your spouse, your children, by finding out the things that they need and doing those things for them. And the people that you work with, start your conversations out with them by saying, "How are you?" and then waiting and listening for how they're actually doing. Let them talk. When you do that, you're communicating that you honor them and you care about them as a person, not for what they can do, but because of who they are. And thirdly, I want to highlight that the Apostle Paul says that think about things that are excellent. Be the best you can be. Invest in yourself. Invest in your personal development. At work, invest in yourself and being a better leader so that you can help your team to accomplish the goals that it set out to do. At home, be the best husband and the best wife. Be the best parent that you can be. In your friendships, be the very best friend that you can be. Put great effort into that. Be excellent, not perfect, excellent. And in these 3 ways, you can put great effort into your relationships by going down into the roots of your character, by being a person of integrity, by being a person who honors and loves those that they have relationships with, and by being excellent, being the best you that you can be. Thank you for being with us today. God bless you.